Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Doc and Queenie Facebook Live at
High noon.
Hey Queenie.
Hey, Doc, how are you?
I am busy as a busy bee. How about you?
Well, I love the busy bee part. We are having so much fun. It is Monday, which means posting parties. Monday, which means a huge Smart Connect with Alignable. Monday, which means Doc and Queenie. I just love Mondays, Doc.
I know you do, Queenie.
Someday you're going to say, eh.
Hey, guess what?
Uh-huh.
You'll love this. Today is the first day
Of the rest of your life.
Yeah. You took it. You've heard that before? No. It's the first day I was able to put my hair in a ponytail.
I am so happy for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Doc's Ponytail Day.
So happy Doc Ponytail Day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We do need to make that a national event.
No, that's okay.
Oh my goodness. Well, honestly, congratulations. I know that ever since your hair was short, you have been waiting for the ponytail topic.
Yes, I have. And, some days I wonder why I want to grow my hair long because we are having seasonal weather. Well, it's not even seasonal, uncharacteristic weather for this season.
I'm telling you what, it literally went from winter to summer and almost overnight, and it's going back to spring-esque over the weekend. So you never know what you're going to get in Kansas City.
I know. I have to wait to plant some of my plants. But yeah, yesterday it was 85. I was in my garage building things and basically dying because it was, and we don't turn our air conditioning on until at least May.
I was going to say April. Come on.
I know. And so, of course, the kids are like, "Can't you turn the air on?" I'm like, "No, not for one day." So it's been crazy, crazy, crazy.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your ponytail. And you said you were building. What could you possibly be building?
Well, I have so many seedlings that I need to plant. I've kind of run out of a little bit of room, and I also had some extra lumber. So I decided to put in some corner boxes on our patio.
Oh my gosh. Is there any room at your house for people to walk around?
Yes, there is. Yes. And I still have a pile of lumber, so I'm sure I will figure out what's next. Good afternoon, Debbie Miller. It's high noon. Yes. So, yeah. So I've just been building. But, I am so excited. I don't know if you saw this, but today is National Purple Day.
For those of us. I did not see that, and you know how I feel about purple, so hooray.
Why do you like purple, Queenie?
I like purple because, first of all, it's royalty, and I love that. The Lydia book in the Bible just kind of rocks my world because that was kind of her color. So I love that piece and the royalty part, and I've always loved that. The royal purple, not any of the other variations. And then also alkalinity on the pH scale is purple, and that is my DNA for my business as far as alkaline water. So why do you like purple, Doc?
It's just a nice color. It's, it is royalty. God is royalty, and the whole royalty God thing I love. I just love the color. I like purple, blue. I'm not a big fan of yellow, but in flowers, I like yellow flowers. But no, purple, I like purple. So happy national, and it's actually Purple Up Day is how they say it.
Purple Up? Woo!
Yeah.
I like it.
It's also National Take a Wild Guess Day. So you've already taken your wild guess as to what happened for me today. So I'm going to say I'm trying to think of a wild guess for what happened. Let's see. I can't say networking because that's cheating for you. I don't know what my wild guess would be. Were you outside planting flowers today?
I definitely was outside planting flowers, Doc.
Okay, good. Good to hear.
Anyone who knows me knows better than that. So there you go. This is in tribute to Purple Day. So enjoy for a second. And I'm going to go back to our branding. Woohoo!
Looks good. It looks nice. It looks nice. Yeah. So tomorrow for National... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. Happy Purple Day.
Happy Purple Day, Queenie, and everybody.
Say that 3 times really fast.
It's also National Orchid Day tomorrow, and it's National Bean Counter Day. Doesn't that usually refer to accountants and people that love numbers? Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, a
So
bean counter is anybody that's into meticulous making sure the beans add up. So yes,
so would you be a bean counter, Queenie?
1,000,000%. Money is my DNA. I love teaching about it. I love talking about it. I certainly love growing it. And so yes, that rocks my world. And so yeah, I everything has to balance, and ROI and good stewardship and all of those things linked together. So yes, it is definitely part of my daily life.
It's also National Wear Your Pajamas Days, so you could wear your pajamas while you count beans.
I never thought of that. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Doc. I'll be right back.
No, that's tomorrow. So
Okay.
so
Oh,
yeah.
good. I'm not late.
No, you're not late. So don't forget to wear that pink PJs that I heard about.
You bet. Yeah, pink.
So Wednesday is National Banana Day. I'm not a big fan of bananas. I eat them when they just ripen because I don't like the sugar content. They're just too sweet when they get, overly ripe. Are you a banana person?
Well, no, I don't. They're actually too much sugar for me to handle. I'm not a fan. But I've obviously had bananas in my house 100 years when the kids were here. But that's all different. But I don't do the sugar part. But drum roll, please. I just came in from an event a couple hours ago, and our resident banana man was there.
He was. He's pretty fun. Very
Yes,
cool.
he definitely
Shout
is.
out to Nick. Yes.
Yeah.
Wednesday is also National Cheese Ball Day.
National Cheese Ball Day. Okay.
I have a story. As you know,
I got to hear it. Yep.
as you know, some of my favorite stores are these big box stores that have lumber and building supplies. And there's one in particular that is fairly new to the Kansas City area, but not new to us because we grew up in the north.
Yes.
It's called Menards. And we always joke about if we run out of cheese balls that you go to Menards because you not only buy.
Oh, I was trying to think what is a cheese ball, but I get what you're saying now. Okay.
Yeah, those cheese balls, the little whatever.
Because I know that you and Debbie talk about cheese curds. Hello, Deborah. Hello, Debbie. Even at Doc and Queenie, I love that. So I know that you guys talk about cheese curds and all that cheese stuff, and I thought maybe there's a cheese ball, but I know what you mean now with those snacks.
Yes, those little puffy whatever.
Okay.
We were
they sell them in those great big huge whatever.
Yeah, it's huge. So if you ever need cheese balls, Menards is the place.
Well, thank you for that insight. I love that, Doc.
I'm always full of information that we really don't need to know, but it is what it is. Uh-huh. So after you eat your cheese balls on Thursday, it's National Exercise Day.
You'd have to after cheese balls, yes.
And it looks like it's also animal crackers. It's also National High Five Day. So I guess it's a little starchy on that day.
High Five Day. Wow. Okay.
So that's Thursday. Friday, we're bringing up the rear with Clean Out Your Medicine Cabinet Day. I don't have medicine in my cabinet, but I have cabinets, and I actually, believe it or not, have already cleaned things out. I've done my, as we call it, renewing. We do a spring, or I should say, I do a spring and a fall, and I've got that accomplished. So, and it's always good to clean things out and organize it. What do you think?
I agree 1,000,000%. I personally don't actually have anything that even resembles a medicine cabinet. I do have vitamin compartments all over the place, and I love essential oils. And so that's a big piece of what people would probably think as a medicine cabinet. But I've had people that have been here before for various reasons, and all of a sudden they go, oh my gosh, and it's not because of me, so let's not go there. But oh my gosh, I have a headache. Do you have any Tylenol or whatever they're asking for? And I go, I actually don't own that. And they go, what? And so it's a funny thing when people ask for stuff and you're going, I don't own that. So yeah, I think people in medicine cabinet, think about this too. I don't know what it was like for you, Doc, growing up, but for me, there really was a medicine cabinet. You open up this little mirror thing in the bathroom usually, or it's a double thing like this, and there really is drug all over the place. I don't know if that's still a thing.
I grew up in a doctor's home, so we had vats of different
I
things
bet
that
you
were in the
did. Yeah.
refrigerator.
Wow.
So, but no, to open up my medicine cabinet, as my daughter says, if you want dog spit and tree bark, I'm the person to.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
Oh
But
my
yeah,
gosh. Yeah.
I don't know if people have a lot of medicines. I think people are catching on that, they're not super healthy for you. So,
Well, I
uh,
certainly don't want to be part of the fearmonger world, but even on the news last week, they were saying that there are pharmaceuticals that are out of, as in short supply kind of thing. So that could be part of the deal. Doc, I have an announcement to make.
yes.
You'll be thrilled to know, okay? Thrilled to know that the High Ladies is Tina Wyatt.
Wow.
I
Welcome,
know.
Tina.
Seriously. And the other High Ladies is our High Noon ACA godmother, our fantastic Karen Higgins. So yeah,
Welcome
I'm
to both, both,
I'm
both,
looking at
both.
Deborah's message to make sure we don't miss
Yeah. Well,
anything.
you look at Deborah's message. Welcome, Tina. Tina is. We are so thrilled to have you here. It's fantastic that she was able to join us today. So
Fantastic. And just to answer Deborah's question, we just came from a posting party and she's taking the plunge to start a YouTube channel. Doc is obviously our resident YouTube genius as you continue to get into, what are you now, 175,000 views?
no, I passed that a while ago.
Oh, pardon me. I knew it was high, high, high. But honestly, you're getting close to the
Let's see.
200,000 mark for real, right?
I'm at 185 right now.
Beautiful. Anyway, Deborah, in answer to your question, for me, I am Kathy Weaver KC Umbrella. And within that umbrella, because otherwise you've got to manage a bunch of channels, and I certainly don't have that kind of time. And then I have a zillion playlists from the standpoint of networking, Doc and Queenie, posting parties, all the different how-tos that I get to do. Doc, what about you? What would you suggest for that? Would you think that starting a channel with one name and then branching out as far as playlists would be the best idea, or would you start several channels?
I would not start several channels because you have to feed the beast on all of those different levels. And I would
I'm
just
not
keep
doing that. Mm-mm.
And I do the same thing that Queenie does. If you go to both of our channels, you can see we've got playlists that tie into what we do.
Right. And so
then
I am Kathy Weaver Umbrella, because that's my name and how people would probably find me. And then within my name, then I have my different playlists. So I wouldn't call it Miracles with Water, because some of the networking in the Doc and Queenie doesn't specifically fit Miracles with Water, but Miracles with Water would certainly be a category. So that's up to you. There's a million ways to do things correctly, but I do not have time to try and get 100 subscribers on a million different channels, much less deal with how many views you get. I couldn't do that.
It's confusing to the viewer, so you
Mm-hmm.
and just think about when we're on YouTube, if you find somebody and they're talking about one thing, you don't want to have to look for something else that they've talked about, so it's kind of one-stop shopping is the way I look at it.
I definitely agree with that. So anyway, Deborah, that's our take, but I'm sure, again, there's a million ways to do it, but I like to keep people's heads from exploding. Doc, since we got to say hi to our friends and certainly answer Deborah's question, I know the National Day of is not finished yet, so keep going.
All right, let's see. I think we're on Saturday. Time just flies, I tell you.
I know.
Saturday is Volunteer Recognition Day, which I think that is fantastic because there's lots of people out there that do a lot of good in the world. Of course, I always have to pick up the weird food stuff. It's National Cheddar Fries Day.
Okay, so I'm anticipating that means French fries with stuff on it.
Yes.
Okay.
I am a French fry purist, so that doesn't work for me.
And I was going to say that for me, I'm so sorry for whoever does those or likes them, but slop comes to mind, and I don't choose to do slop. So
No.
if you like cheddar fries and they're not sloppy, talk to me and I'll see if I can deal with that. But I understand the purist thing, and it sounds like it's a little bit like potato skins from a standpoint, once again, slop, and so it's a specific ability to eat without messing up your entire face, right?
I guess so. Yeah. I just don't like, like I said, I'm a purist. I like a little bit of salt. I like any kind of French fry, but my favorite are crinkle cut. And
okay, that's interesting. Yeah.
and my family teases me because of that. And yes, happy National Cheddar Fries. It's also National Auctioneers Day. Now, I know you've done auctions
Absolutely.
in the past, and
Absolutely.
we had a mutual friend that he actually was the auctioneer. I wish I had the opportunities to see how all of that worked. Auctions kind of make my head explode because you're like, don't raise your hands, don't blink your eyes, just sit still and watch.
Well, and just to let you know, we actually got to host several for Olathe Chamber had an auction, and I was the MC, and I loved doing that part and the spotter and things like that. So the auctioneer is strategic, yes, but the spotters that are in place are actually the ones who say, who's next, that kind of thing to keep the bid going. But auctioneering is certainly an art form, and people are trained for that, but it makes money for your nonprofit. And to be able to have an MC walking through the place and keeping things going and all that stuff, that of course rocks my world. And I've actually gotten a chance to work with several auctioneers, as a matter of fact. And so the best news is they usually make quite a bit of money, more so than just if you're doing a silent auction. If you're doing a live auction, it gets everybody pumped up a little more. So it's a great thing for nonprofit.
I actually, and this wasn't a nonprofit, but I actually was watching one the other day, as a matter of fact, and they were auctioning off a horse that was the foal of some racehorse, and I don't follow horse racing, so I have no idea.
Yeah,
seriously. And you can tell I'm, the name of the mommy, the mare. And this horse auctioned for $10 million. And then the camera panned to the owner, which was an older lady, and she was crying. She was crying as the number kept going up. So, and a beautiful, beautiful horse. But it was incredible to watch. There was one guy on the phone, and he kept going like this, and then he would up it, and you're just like, wow, it's an event to watch. So that's Saturday, and let's end our Sunday with National Day of National Chocolate Covered Cashews. Now, will you eat a chocolate covered cashew, Queenie?
Oh my gosh, you really do come up with so many food items. It's hysterical. I like cashews, actually. Needless to say, I don't buy them because I would eat them, and that's not a good fit. If I don't think I've ever had a chocolate covered cashew necessarily, but there is an opportunity. My grandmother used to make what she called noodle cookies, and she would take chow mein noodles and usually milk chocolate, but of course I would prefer dark chocolate, and put cashews in that conglomeration. And so then they would be little nest looking things, just little clumps of chow mein noodles with the cashews in them. So that's probably the closest I've ever come to a chocolate covered cashew. I'm sure you don't eat such things, Doc.
Well, when I used to make truffles, any of the leftover chocolate, you don't want it to go to waste. And so I just would pour it over nuts. I'd had walnuts or cashews.
Oh, okay. Well, that's awesome. And I'm sure your chocolate is very specifically awesome.
It's specific.
Yeah, well, honestly, the things that you've mentioned before, the price per pound of the chocolate that you have mentioned that you use for your truffles, I'm just going, holy moly. I don't want to buy the factory. I just want a little bag of the stuff. And it's amazing the prices have gone up.
I had a baking business, and I use this chocolate in my baking business, and I have not strayed because to me it's one of the best. So yeah, it's difficult to go to a chocolate that's not it's not high quality. It's kind of a you could call it a micro type of chocolate company that makes it. So, and it is kind of funny chocolate wise. You can tell different, and they refer to it almost like wine. There's notes of different things in your chocolate.
I've heard that, yes.
And it's all dependent on where it's from. So crazy, but yeah.
I've heard that. Well, now we need to go eat some chocolate covered cashews for sure. I'd like to welcome Amazing Grace to the call. The great news is, first of all, we're thrilled that you're here also. Grace mentioned at a meeting last week, I believe Coffee Club with Michelle Cruz, that her book is inches away, like it's at the editors right now. So it's inches away from publication. And so we're excited. Absolutely. Yes. And of course, Deborah DeVette is working on her next book and now her YouTube channel. So look what's going on in our community, Doc.
I'm glad people are busy. So,
Absolutely.
so speaking of busy, we need to get busy on our wheels.
I love that part because after so many of our friends shared last week about new words. And so, of course, we add the new words every single time somebody adds it, sends it to us in Messenger. And Doc, we've got a whole bunch of new words today.
Oh, wow, we do.
All right, I'm going to shuffle 6 times. Doc's number is 7. My number is 5. So 6 is a nice compromise. So our word, and thank you again, guys. Keep the words coming. Oh, boom, boom, boom. Here you go.
Swooper. Oh,
Yeah, I know. Seriously, this is phenomenal to me from a standpoint of several years ago, we had the group actually where Doc and Queenie met called No Excuses Networking. And so the cool part is, as soon as we get to No Excuses Networking, one of the things I talked about is swooper. And the reason for swooper is you swoop in, barf your business, and hit the road. And so I said it because I always posted pictures of No Excuses Networking with everybody tagged all over Facebook, etc. I even wasn't using LinkedIn back then. I can't imagine. It kills me to think back all the things I didn't do that I could have. But the rest of the story is I said, don't be a swooper on the post with all the pictures. And I got more comments on what's a swooper. And so, of course, one chapter in my third book is swooper. And it's incredible that there are still people who even swoop virtually. Have you ever had anybody swoop on you, Doc?
oh, all the time, Queenie. All the time.
I
And
bet you love swoopers, don't you?
Facebook seems to be famous. I friend people. I call them at, like in LinkedIn, you have connections, and usually I know several people on my first level in LinkedIn. It's the same kind of thing in Facebook, and I will usually research the person before I friend them. Well, I had somebody reach out to me who knew several of my friends, and actually it just happened. And she said that I can't remember the verbiage, I don't have it. But anyways, she wanted to know if I was still looking for clients. And she called me a fabulous, fabulous fellow. Um, so it was a new one. Usually there's a pattern. A lot of people have been trained hi. So you say hi. How are you today? I'm fine. What are you selling? It's like that kind of thing. So I kind of flipped it with this gal who wanted to know what kind of clients, and I asked her, what was it about my profile and my website that basically made you ask the question, and she didn't answer. So I think she was just looking for a quick, I guess I'm doing fishing, a quick hook and try and sell me something, or basically, like you say, barf your business. Yeah, she has not responded.
I just find it amazing with the relationship building that Doc and Queenie is famous for. I mean, look at the screen as far as all the comments and all the dynamic superstars that are in the Doc and Queenie community and the relationships that are built here. I am shocked that people still feel like, hi, how are you? Guess what? I'm offering a special. This actually just happened 1 second ago on LinkedIn. I have the most incredible blah, blah, blah type of business. And I don't know that if somebody said pull her out of a lineup, I would not have a clue who it was, which means if I don't know them from a standpoint of, I usually keep track pretty closely of who I have met before and usually where, not always, because the numbers are certainly going up these days. But for the most part, it blows my mind that I would see people that are still saying, I have the most incredible business opportunity. I think you'd be great for it. Just like you said, Doc, what about my profile made you think I'd be great for it? I am incredibly entrenched in 16 years of Kangen water. How could I possibly even deviate from Kangen water business to any other company? I just don't understand how they think that, but you'd be great at it. And I'm always like, how do you have any idea what I would be great at?
That, and then I had somebody reach out to me last week that I had networked with over 3 years ago. I was thinking about you, you were. And this is, yeah. And like Terry Ann, welcome Terry Ann. She's like, she doesn't respond to the hi messages.
Absolutely.
Generally, I don't, but sometimes I get a little feisty and I'm like, let's see where this goes. Because it's the same pattern with a lot of these swoopers. Hi, how are you? Hey, did you know, such and such, there's a government program and you could be a millionaire? Oh, really? So
Absolutely. And that's why, once again, for me, it's definitely relationship building. But how do you have any idea what I would be great at, especially in your business, when I've probably never heard of it before from the standpoint of you and me talking? I was with a lady actually just now on Alignable. There were 88 people on the call. It was a blast, actually. But there were 88 people on the call. And I ended up in the room with this lady, and her company's been around maybe 10-ish years and in America that long. And she's been with the company for 5, but she instantly said we'd be a great partnership team. And so, of course, I said, what do you know about Kangen water? And she said, well, actually nothing, but water is important. And she went through that whole drill. And I thought, how do you understand the partnership piece if you don't even know what my company is? So it really is, the swooper thing makes my head explode.
I had this, it's funny. I've got one more. I had somebody this morning reach out to me on one of the networking platforms. And he was asking me if I did indoor gardening, soilless indoor gardening, if I'd be interested in that. And I'm like,
something tells me that soilless indoor gardening has something to do with PVC pipe and chemicals in the soil less topic. And I can't imagine, since you work so hard to be organic everything, that would be a good fit for you, Doc.
Correct. And Grace is saying she always asks them basically the same thing. And most of them, yeah, we don't friend. You can really tell a lot about a person on how they post on Facebook.
Absolutely. 1,000,000%. Would you like to buy a water machine? And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And that is just not a good fit for me. I'm certainly available anytime anybody needs information, or certainly a machine, but I can't imagine that technique would be effective for people. I can't imagine that would be a good idea.
Yeah. Yep. So swooper is a biggie.
Yeah. One whole chapter in my book. The book is free, so this is not a sales pitch, but Networking on Steroids PQ, which is post-quarantine, swoopers beware, was the message.
And isn't it on your YouTube channel, Queenie?
I think it is, Dog. I might think it might even be there by playlist.
That sounds good.
I know.
I'm going to have to watch it.
Yeah. I'm sure you probably know it by heart, actually. All right, let's see what we've got for topics. Push the right button and don't close the meeting. Yay for me. Okay. Make sure I don't close the entire Doc and Queenie. All right. Let's see what topics look like today, Doc, on Happy Purple Day tomorrow, or today, or whatever day you said it was. Oh my gosh. Boom, boom, boom. This is you, girlfriend. All right.
Oh, gardening.
Now, one thing before you get started, and I mean this with all my heart, you have literally taken gardening to a very high level of organic. And I know that you are very aware not only of the water that you water your plants with, but the seedlings. I mean, the seeds are heirloom. The dirt, the actual soil is specific organic with your mixture of compost stuff in it. And you don't ever do any treated lumber, and you don't do PVC anything. Correct. So I have heard you talk about this on your YouTube channel. So you really have taken gardening to the next level of organic.
I try.
I try. Well, it's hard to do since it's outside. And I understand you've talked about chemtrails and stuff like that from airplanes and other people's spray stuff, blah, blah. I get that. But you really have gone as far as any personal human probably could, right?
Oh, I would drive you crazy. I'm very specific on what I do. But yeah, organic gardening is difficult because we have so many things. Well, I'm going to flip it a little bit to the water. Water bottle is easy because it's convenient. You can take it with you. Plastic water bottle, I should say. But as we know, all of the chemicals and whatever is in that water bottle and in the cap, it's kind of the same thing with the gardening. You just have to basically work through each step. I have filters on my watering system. And then I also water with Kangen water. So, which a lot of people, a lot of people don't want to make that effort because it does take effort, but I want to know that my food is as clean as possible. And that's how I got into the organic. But yes, I use organic heirloom seeds, which basically means I can plant them next year. And I know the grower. And then I have my own compost from our organic fruits and vegetable scraps that I create. And then I even fertilize, and you'll laugh at this one. This is a new one, fairly new. It's fairly new in the gardening circles. I'm using water that has weeds that have been soaking in it as a fertilizer, because weeds pull up vitamins and minerals from, a lot of weeds have a taproot, which goes very deep into the ground, and they pull up good nutrients. And so when you soak it in water, those nutrients get in the water. Yeah. And I don't spray. I do not spray. So I have lots of, I'm trying to keep up with keeping some grass, but it's difficult. But I do, if you want to say, harvest my weeds, and then I fertilize with the weeds. So anyways, that's kind of it.
Well, let's go one step further with what you do. Please remember, well, your modesty, your humility is amazing, quite frankly, because when you say that you're kitchen garden expert, it's not just la-di-da, plant stuff and grow stuff and eat stuff. You really seriously have taken it to the next level as far as your education, which is apparent by your YouTube channel, almost 200,000 views, for heaven's sakes. But let's go another step, which is where I fall into this category. If I can't grow my own, which is a big duh, I ain't going to do that. But the rest of the story, when I go to farmers markets, and I do this obviously intentionally, first of all, I love to be outside. Second of all, there's one in Overland Park, so that makes it super easy. There's also one even closer to me in Olathe. And so when you go to the farmers markets and you take this fabulous, gorgeous bounty harvest, everything amazing, and take it home and spend a fortune for it, by the way, the prices are outrageous now, but you spend a fortune for it and take it home and rinse it in tap water, that causes my head to explode.
Yes. Well, and if you were to go to the farmer's market with me, I go through a bunch of questions before I even purchase there, because a lot of them will say homegrown, because to be certified organic is a very costly thing. So they don't, or they'll say natural. There are some farmers that use very good practices, but you have to ask the questions, and then, like you said, Queenie, to rinse it in tap water when you get home. Yeah.
Even conventional, because when I've gone, I don't want to say the store names, but when I've gone to the whole organic kind of stores, those things even have crud on them from a standpoint. When you rinse it in 11.5 Kangen water, alkaline water, it literally is amazing to me. You still get crud off what they're considering organic.
Well, and I actually just had, and I don't know why I never ran across this the other day. I'm on a lemon kick right now, and I've been drinking lemon water and baking with lemon and all of this kind of stuff. And I had a reel pop up that talked about, this gentleman was talking to a lemon farmer, a citrus farmer, and the farmer said that he did not buy organic lemons from the store. He just, of course, he could use his own. His family only eats their lemons. And the question was, well, why? Even though they're grown organically, they still spray them in order to preserve them, because, of course, that's one of the biggest problems in general, is they pick them early or they pick them right on time, and then they have to preserve it to get it to where it's going. So there's, and I'm just like, so, and I put my lemons anyways, anything, I put everything in, the 11.5 water to
oh my gosh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But I'm just like, really? Like, really? But yeah, in talking about the organic gardening, you always try to stay one step ahead of it, but it's very difficult.
And it really is. Deborah has a question. What would you ask the growers when, if she goes to a farmer's market, what questions would you ask? You probably don't want to grow in PVC, and you don't want to grow in treated lumber, and you don't want to grow in crud dirt. What would you ask the organic farmer that is there to sell at the farmer's market?
I basically ask how they fertilize their plants. Are they into heirloom varieties? Can they do heirloom? I mean, if it's a bigger operation, it's still possible to do organic and keep it, generally healthier. But my big concerns is your watering system have PVC pipe in it? Do you water a lot? A lot of them will have well water. Um, some are connected to, if they're closer to a bigger city, connected to the city water piece. I ask about the
Don't
water.
get me started.
I ask about how they fertilize and what they use. Do they use conventional practices, or are they doing, I would love to say unconventional, but when you compare it, are they doing more in tag word sustainable? Sustainable is a tag word, organic is a tag word, natural is a tag word, homegrown is a tag word. You can even just flip it to, how do you define your natural homegrown produce on the way you grow? The things like that, to just kind of see how they respond. EWG.org is an organization that has the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen list, which tells you, they basically test fruits and vegetables, and it tells you the pesticide load on each of those, whether it's a fruit or a vegetable. So that'll give you an idea when you're looking at different things at the market on whether they have sprayed pesticides or not. But yeah, I would ask about fertilizer. I would ask about the word organic or heirloom. I would ask sustainability. I would even ask permaculture if you want to go that far, and that's a whole nother line of talk. But yeah, I apologize. I grill them, and they're just probably like, go away, just buy something and go away.
Well, one thing I think about also is, how green are you?
Right.
And when I do that, obviously, there is a picture that one of our friends took. She was literally in a location when she was traveling with her family. And she said, "Oh my gosh, they serve Kangen water here." And she knew that's what I do for my business. And so she held up a brochure and a styrofoam cup and a plastic straw, and they served her Kangen water like that with a brochure, like by machine. Okay. And so she took the picture because she was so excited. Nobody's face is showing and the name of the company is not there. And so she sent me that picture and she goes, "Isn't this the coolest thing?" So I said, "Oh my gosh, thank you." And yes, I use it for my water workshop now for the training stuff, because what happened? They took the green away, Doc, because instantly they hand out a paper brochure. Everything that you need to know about Kangen is on Google Scholar or certainly on any of our company websites. Number one. Number two, a styrofoam cup, literally, I've done it in my kitchen. A styrofoam cup sucks the ORP, oxidation reduction potential, if you care, out of the water almost instantly. Like you can see the meter go and suck out the good part, the electrolytes, the antioxidants. Oh my gosh, suck it out almost instantly from styrofoam. That's the chemical. And then a plastic straw. And I'm sitting here going, OMG. So anyway, I know. I thanked her, of course, for being so observant. And she was so excited to share about the Kangen piece. But they took the green out of the entire conversation for paper, styrofoam, plastic, the opposite of what we teach, and the benefits with Kangen. I couldn't believe it.
And one more little thing to add to the question that Deborah had. You can usually tell if a person is really into how they care about the way they're growing. I mean, you really can tell, or if they're just doing it because it's not that it isn't the person's, not that it isn't their business, but I mean, there's a difference. You can definitely
Since they are specific, are the prices higher? And is there a reason the prices are higher?
Well, in my opinion, I've had people, it is more difficult with organic.
Okay.
That they're not paying for, if you're not certified, you've saved $250,000 to get certified in 5 to 10 years to get to that point, but you're constantly battling the growers around you, conventional growers around you, with the wind blowing pesticides.
Well, even the birds you have mentioned before cause challenges.
Yes. Yep. I have squirrels and bunnies and birds that, yeah, I I'm just going to put my bed out in my garden and maybe
Squirrels
that'll.
and bunnies and birds. Oh my.
Yeah. So, anyways, well, guess what, Queenie? It looks like it's time to go.
Gardening is such a cool topic. And please, friends, for anyone watching this now or on the replay, do connect with Doc, kitchen garden expert all over the place. You have done so great, not only with your YouTube channel, but the education piece. Even I am learning what questions to ask, certainly, but the stuff
You
that you
are.
buy commercially organic is not necessarily a great thing, especially if you rinse it in tap water. So I really appreciate everything that you've taught us, Doc.
Well, and I likewise appreciate all of the little tidbits of information and things to think about when it comes to water, Queenie. So thank you, everyone, whether you were with us live or on the replay, for joining Doc and Queenie every Monday, Facebook at. Queenie, wow.
I
Okay.
know. I got to go take a nap now. Bye bye.
Yeah. You can find Queenie on social media at Kathy Weaver KC, or you can go directly to her website, kathyweaverkc.com. You can find myself at kitchengardenexpert.com or Kitchen Garden Expert all over social media. Until next week, everybody, please have a great and enjoy, this weather. Hopefully here in Kansas City, we're not going to freeze by the weekend.
Yeah.
Have a great week. Enjoy your weather. Enjoy your week. And we'll catch you right back here next week. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Queenie.
Thank you, Doc. Bye for now.
Bye.